So what's left exactly?
The experiment is nearing its conclusion. The Enrichment Center is required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
Dun dun dun. It's a specific level of worry where you can't quite tell, especially on your first time through, whether she's being vague. I'm up here now for some reason. You can't quite tell immediately whether she's being vague or... I mean, not vague, if she's malfunctioning and saying the wrong thing on accident. Like, you'll be baked and then there will be cake. Or if she literally means that the cake exists, but also you aren't getting it because they're going to bake you, as in put you in fire. And that's worrying. Interestingly, you can only proceed through this level right here by doing this. Which is not just a random thing, like they didn't just do that, like, oh, that's just how they solved this puzzle. That's for wow. I'm just realizing that everything this goddamn game's foreshadowing, like that part is actually a tutorialization of how to get through something later on. Well, I'll call that out when we get to it, I guess. But the idea of being able to jump down towards a portal and actually still be able to fit through it without having to land on a platform first or anything. So here's another little piece of Rat Man. He apparently leaves very dirty handprints around. Maybe on purpose, to be honest. They might be call-outs. Floor is all nasty down here. Seems like there's just toxic sludge or acid of some kind just below everything in just the entire facility. Like this place is just a mess now or something. Getting more of these posters. She's watching you. Beep. Looking at the cameras. No cake. Help. Cake is a lie. She's watching you. He continued to use this computer trick to cook his food. Seems to keep finding radios everywhere, which is rather impressive. And it would seem that that door is the way he got in here. Whoa. Whoa. That was a glitch, I think. I've never seen that before. Oh, that's a freaky visual. Hey, that's just the portal animation getting stuck on a not being sure about how to collide. But this door must be how he gets around here. The door knob's actually off now, which is worrying. But he got through here somehow. Maybe even through that vent or something? If that's tied up to any of the other locations. So he survived, but who knows for how long and where he got. It's a nice little through line to have him show up like that. Let's go ahead and head forward. Gotcha. Oh, don't fall. There we go. Oh. Got the smallest little hint of how to proceed there, I think. What's over there? That's where we came from. I'm trying to go over there. Trying to get this one straight in my head. So there's a button over there. We need to press that button. There's a chamber over here. It's tied to that button. That's the exit, as clearly shown by that symbol. We just need to figure out where to go from here, and we have very limited ways of walking around at the moment. Our best approach is really just to use these roofs we have. Actually, I might be able to use some momentum here. Got it. So, button. Button's open. That's all I needed. But I can't shoot through there because it's all non-portal surfaces. So we're missing a component in this direction. Oh. It's you. My nemesis. This is the big challenge of Portal 1, I would say. This is the big chamber of, fuck you. More or less. You've got a lot of hazards and a relatively complicated environment, and you've got to manage to get through it without killing yourself along the way. Not the worst time to be using the save function, to be honest. Really, your best chance of success is to try to use these energy balls going around, because they could be a hazard. There goes one. Oh, I think I almost crashed the game. The game's saying critical error, and lo and behold, seemed to be a critical error to me. There we are. They're starting to notice me. You gotta be very careful. That's another one down. Game didn't break on me that time. What's funny is that they've trained you to look for barriers like this. They trained you to look for some sort of guideline before, with those orange beams we had before. For the energy sources that were training you how to move forward by putting these things in the walls that would let you be able to move around. Oop. Missed it, didn't I? Ow, crap. I don't know which one to shoot now, honestly. But they gave you the idea that putting these things in the right spots would somehow give you the ability to move forward. Because in the past it was orange beams coming out of those spots where the energy source needs to be put into. But now, it's the guiding light of turrets. All these turrets have a nice red beam sticking out of them, and then you can use that. That's great. So, first hazard taken care of. There's no more turrets here to kill me. Now I can move about the base freely as long as I don't walk in front of the energy beams, which is why I put those portals harmlessly out of the way for now. Because now I need to figure out how to proceed. Does this thing work? The answer is no. So this thing doesn't move. There's no portal surfaces over there, none over here. There's a series of weird platforms. There's a button over here. This button opens this door. So then you gotta figure out how to get that through there. So this is a little complicated, so you need to be able to shoot the energy ball towards that portal while also, and then be prepped to then be able to press that button in time. So it's gonna get released now. And I have to be not too fast because it has to go through. Come on. Got it. Got it. So now, suddenly, this thing works. It's moving. Important progress has been made. It is not to be neglected. And it waits for a long time before it moves, unfortunately. Is that thing done moving? Looks like the energy source is done too. Which is nice. It means it's not going to kill you while you're moving back on this thing. Which would suck. There we go. I want to say, as a teenager, I probably got stuck here for an hour. Dealing with all those different, trying to figure out how to get past the guns and trying to figure out how to move forward. This is actually a relatively hard one, I would say. But I seem to have remembered how to do it. The question here is, what the hell am I accomplishing? Oh, there's a downward direction over there. Okay, so it's another momentum puzzle. So we plop you down. Hop in. And Geronimo! Ho ho ho! Hope things worked out. And we should be high enough that I can land on top of the lift. And we're clear. Puzzle solved. This one was an ordeal the first time. Damn. I'm actually surprised I remembered it. But when I first walked in, I'm like, I'm doomed. That's it. I'm not getting out of here. I'm not getting out alive. I'm trapped now, though, is an issue. So I do need to press that button to get out. Or I'm stuck. But that's actually that's not a problem. At all, really. Just gotta ride the elevator over, press the button, go through here, and get out. Yeah. Go. Yay! Hip. Oh, hit my head. We used the orange portal. So we can just hop on through. Don't forget to grab the cube, the whole reason we went through this. And it's solved. I can't wait for the cake, can't you? It's gonna be great. So I think is it possible to leave here? Yeah, it is. I could just use the floor here. I was in the middle of asking whether or not it's possible to leave without going back into the previous chamber. So here is something noteworthy, I believe. In here, There's no destruction field. Can I use that? I don't remember if I can use that or not. There's not really a portal service nearby. There might be a way to finagle it, but I was just thinking in terms of like, can I grab that cube and take it with me? For now, we're fine. Hello. Very long drop.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Oh yeah, tell me more. We know she's trying to watch us now, and we know exactly what's going on, so I'm not the biggest fan. So time for a good old test of your reflexes of your memory of which portal you used last. Or you could just use them, or you could just fire 2 portals every time, which is what I think I end up doing usually in this kind of situation. It's easier just to fire both portals every time than it is to remember which one you just used. There we go.
Be advised that the next test requires exposure to uninsulated electrical parts that may be dangerous under certain conditions. For more information, please attend an Enrichment Center Electrical Safety Seminar.
If you would like to know how to not die in the next chamber, please consult a seminar that we will not give you access to. You are going to die. And then there will be cake. After this loading screen. Mostly loading screen, really. That's the biggest thing that's happening right now. Here we go.
Welcome to the final test. When you are done, you will drop the device in the Equipment Recovery Annex. Enrichment Center regulations require both hands to be empty before any cake.
It's always been interesting to me that sometimes the subtitles don't match what she says. It just says before the cake can be served, and then it says garbled. Look, cake! It finally says there's gonna be cake. Isn't that great, guys? I can't wait to be the cake. That's how this works, right? Let's see here. It's coming out of there. It needs to go in there. I think this part's pretty straightforward. Yep. So that's powered. And there's the barrier. So this elevator's now powered. I don't think I have much reason to use it for the most part, though. I mean, I'm sure I need it, but I can start off on nice solid ground where I can be sure I'm not gonna die immediately. Hello? There's a button. And now I can see. Now I can shoot past that button. There we go. Gotcha. It's exciting because you feel the forward momentum of the situation. You can just. It just feels like you're moving fast, and it's fun. Like, yeah, I know how everything works now. Look how great I am. I know what all the buttons do. I'm doing great. I'm on a lift that I don't know where it goes. That's a little worrying. Where am I going now? Oh no. No, I can't think about that right now. I gotta be more focused on the concept of how I solve these immediate puzzles. Nice distractions that make me not think about the fact that I don't know where I'm going. There we go. Oh no, I'm back to not knowing where I'm going. Oh, cakes! This can't be so bad.
The test is now over. All Aperture technologies remain safely operational up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin. Rest assured that there is absolutely no chance of a dangerous equipment malfunction prior to your victory incandescence. Thank you for participating in this Aperture Science computer-aided enrichment activity. Goodbye.
No. It turns out it can be that bad. It can be that bad, but like I said before, remember when I mentioned foreshadowing? I wasn't messing around. Foreshadowing!
What are you doing? Stop it. We are pleased that you made it through the final challenge where we pretended we were going to murder you. We are very, very happy for your success. We are throwing a party in honor of your tremendous success. Place the device on the ground, then lie on your stomach with your arms at your sides. A party associate will arrive shortly to collect you for your party. Make no further attempt to leave the testing area. Assume the party escort submission position or you will miss the party.
I love it. I love it so much. She's talking about not... She's talking about the idea of, like, like, she's trying to frame this as if this was just the final challenge, when of course it was how they kill their test subjects. In fact, I recently played the Portal tabletop game, and even that game is all about the preservation of cake, and how test subjects are super disposable, like incredibly disposable, to the point where, like, if you haven't played the tabletop game before, in that game you score with cake, and cake, if it's destroyed, never comes back. But you can actually you can incinerate test subjects willy-nilly and just keep getting more, and it's no big deal. That's how the tabletop game works. But then she even... Oh, that's not good. But she even continues to talk about the cake and the party and stuff like that at this point in.
What are you doing? Stop it. We are pleased that you made it through the final challenge where we pretended we were going to murder you. We are very, very happy for your success. We are throwing a party in honor of your tremendous success. Place the device on the ground, then lie on your stomach with your arms at your sides. A party associate will arrive shortly to collect you for your party. Make no further attempt to leave the testing area. Assume the party escort submission position or you will miss the party.
I love the touches here. Like, this place is such a mess, the staircase actually collapses under you. This is elaborated in Portal 2, but that's the idea of, like, just how long this place may have, like, just how much time may have passed while you were potentially in some kind of stasis pod, where this place has been running itself, and this AI has just been controlling things, but, like, this place is so poorly repaired that, like, all the stuff that's not a test chamber, it's all rusty, and the staircase literally collapses under your weight, which should not be happening. And then the coolest moment, the moment of actually finally finding a door with a goddamn handle on it and being able to open it. And suddenly we can see behind everything. Here's the turrets being partially constructed. It's got a great sense of how you're somewhere you're not supposed to be, and it feels that way. That's why it's satisfying, because she just tried to kill you, and now you get to wander around her factory and she can't stop you.
Hello? Where are you? I know you're there. I can feel you here. Hello?
And now she's finally truly lost for a moment. She genuinely can't see us. She knows we're here somewhere, because where else would we be? But there's no cameras around. You'll notice there's no cameras in these chambers right now, so she physically can't see us and respond to our presence. And they even make the nice touch of having her sound distant, because she's on some distant speaker where we can't even quite see. Let's see, can I reach that from here? The one thing about these outside of Portal challenges is that you get... Look, that's the inside of a test chamber. We could see these little windows through all the chambers. But now that this is the closest we've been to one so far... Oh, I can kind of walk up towards there. Whoa, rails are falling off. Whoops. You definitely can hear the recycled sounds from Half-Life 2. All the metal clanging sounds sound exactly the same. Sounds like... Whenever I knock a piece of metal off or something, it always just sounds like I'm using the crowbar. Can I knock you off? Maybe not. I think this side's probably a dead end, right? Maybe not. Oh, look. It's saying I can escape in that direction. It's Ratman. He made it this far. How's that for some evidence? Kind of weird that he uses such a specific visual language. Like as if it was stenciled. But here I can get inside. And I can mess up their computers. Screw your computer towers. Anarchy! Anarchy! Nah, there's not much to do here. They're probably long gone, because this place looks like a mess. Wait, could I open that door the whole time without even using the portals? I probably could have. Here's a good one. It's the impossible chest, right there. That's the one where she just told me to wait, and it was impossible. So once upon a time, this place was meant for genuine tests. Like, there's chairs and computers in here with viewing ports, and that's the chamber that I was doing a test in. And they would do that. The purposes are... The exact purpose is not entirely clear of what they were doing around here. But all this stuff is real. There's a weird owl thing drawn on the wall, or a mosquito. Nice little jellyfish. Oh, it's a jellyfish. I never noticed that before, I don't think. But yeah, like, this is all clear evidence there's supposed to be humans here. And so now you get the extra sense that something is wrong. Because now, it's not enough. Let's see. That's the place where that's the place where I died for the first time, getting hit by the energy ball. Because I failed to listen to my own important information twice. What does this thing say? It's a failed experiment. It honestly it greatly resembles a rubber chicken, to be honest. Not a lot of detail to be picked out from that one. But the important thing is that, over the course of this game, you got the idea that you're somehow at the whim of an evil corporation. Look, dollars and cents, competing with Black Mesa for DoD. What is Black Mesa? That much, it's all budgeting information. There's a slideshow running here. Like a PowerPoint slideshow, basically. About this company competing with Black Mesa, which is the company that you see in wow, proposed is really high and award is very low. Maybe that's your problem. That's Black Mesa is the Half-Life company. It's the company in the Half-Life games that is behind all the crazy stuff that happens in that, and now Aperture's the one in here. So this further emphasized the idea that they exist in the same world, which is why it was so interesting to think about Half-Life 3 in the context of being able to use portals, which may or may not ever come to be. I may have lost track. Oh yeah, what I was thinking about before was the fact that, like, over the course of the game, you get more sense that you're in danger. So you're thinking more and more about the idea that, like, oh, okay, we're being manipulated by some sort of evil corporation. I'm used to this concept for video games. I can get behind this. I'll figure it out. What's a bit of a surprise is that when you finally get behind.
What are you doing? You haven't escaped, you know. You're not even going the right way. Hello? Is anyone there?
What's great is the idea that when you finally get to see behind the curtain, you don't find humans messing with you. You keep hearing the voice, but everything's empty. So she's running everything. That's a great little trick, by the way. That's her trying to hide her panic, because she's trying to show up until now she was just clinically saying things as a robot. She had some cute little smartass remarks here and there, but they were just smartass remarks. There wasn't much going on there. She was just still sounding like a pre-programmed AI saying things that she was programmed to say. Now she's concerned and emotional and insecure and thinking she may be at risk because there's something that's escaped in her system somewhere in a way that hasn't happened ever, or at least for a long time as far as she knows. But of course it has happened once before because this guy made it this far. And now we get worried because this is how those cubes have been getting around. And we don't know if we can trust any of it, but we have to. Oh, and then we get stuck a little bit. There we go. And what's your deal, huh?
Okay, the test is over now. You win. Go back to the recovery annex for your cake. It was a fun test, and we're all impressed at how much you won. The test is over. Come back.
There we go. Let's just put these on the rail. Hang on a second. Aw. I want to destroy them. It'd take a little more work than I probably want to infer. So this was originally the impossible puzzle. Oh no, what will we do? But now we have two. Now we have two portals. Now we can do what we want to do. Which means the fact that the wall behind there is portal surface completely nullifies the test, because you can just skip right past the door. Isn't that great? That's great. There's not even an elevator here. Hup.
Uh-oh, somebody cut the cake. I told them to wait for you, but they cut it anyway. There is still some left, if you hurry
So now she's still trying to taunt me with the cake, which is fantastic. Fantastic. Can I get through that way? Can I just crouch under? Okay. So you get a firm sense that you're not supposed to be here, because nothing like this feels like it's designed to be a puzzle. We're still going to use it like a puzzle. That's not going to stop us. But it feels like it's despite being specifically designed intentional puzzles, obviously, because this is a puzzle video game, it succeeds in feeling like you're actually solving unintended puzzles. It feels like you're breaking the world around you somehow, which makes it satisfying because we're pulling one over the villain we're dealing with here. In this case, by shooting over there, we can shoot the top side of this thing, which is the only way to get on top of it. There we go. We just physically jumped through a solid object. Isn't that fun? We made a window. Oh, how trippy is that? Alright, we have an exit. I adore this game. This is actually a really nice experience, even though I'm not really having to do as much problem solving as I would have had to do originally, but damn if it's not just a fun experience with good writing, altogether good experiences along the way. It's so well crafted. Hello. On top of a tube. That seems awfully important over there. Let's see if I can hop up. Yep. Oh, I messed that up. Spacebar jumping. I'm really bad at it. Okay, that's not really working out right now. I need to shoot through there and fire out the end. So... actually feeling a tad stuck all of a sudden. Just, do I hop from over here? There we go. I don't know why I blanked for a second there. I think it's because I was trying to jump off the rim like a normal platformer, and your character kind of stalls. But you just need to jump in advance.
You're going the right way. Where do you think you're going? Because I don't think you're going where you think you're going. Hello?
Funnily enough, I don't think that our character knows where they would even think they're going. They're just getting the hell away from the danger. So you gotta be careful here. Some of these have collision points on the ceiling, but this one does not, so I'm safe here. But that one hits the ceiling, that one hits the ceiling. So if you want to go into a portal, you're gonna have to use something like that. There we go. Take me through. Yay. That's not disorienting, is it? You're not feeling a little motion sick, are you? I don't think you even slightly have... You don't even have to solve it that way, do you? I think you just have to write it up and shoot it through and shoot a portal anywhere to get through. But I like that. I like that method of solving it. I love that. That collision is just kind of fun. Can't go through here because there's locks. The constant locks are amusing to me just because this came with Half-Life 2, the Orange Box bundle, and that Half-Life 2 Episode 1 has an achievement called the Man with the One Bullet. No, it's the one free bullet.
Didn't we have some fun, though? Remember when the platform was sliding into the fire pit and I said goodbye, and you were like, and then I was off. We pretended we were going to murder you. That was great.
She's reminiscing, isn't she adorable?
Is anyone there?
Is anyone there? There we go. This is how, that's where you have to use that trick. There we go. But the one free bullet is a play on the words of the idea of the fact that Gordon Freeman is called the one free man in Half-Life, and the trick with that achievement was that you had to only fire one bullet while playing the entire game, which means you had to kill everyone with like gravity gun and melee and things like that. And the trick there is that you're like, you think you're gonna have to, you're like, oh, okay, I've got one bullet, I'll use it really strategically. But in reality, that one bullet can only be used to open a lock. You get a bullet at the beginning of, you get a Where's the... we have to hop on that. You get a gun near the beginning of the expansion, and then immediately after you get the gun, they, oops, I'm probably have to go through there, right? I think. You get a gun really early on. Actually, I think I have to go up here. Right? Over there? You get a gun near the beginning, and then from that gun, you then have to hit. You immediately encounter a lock that you can only open by shooting it, and that's the only place you get to use your bullet. It was a very fun achievement to go for. It's one of the early things that made me appreciate the concept of achievements and how they could be used to enrich a game's experience. Unfortunately, very few games actually do that anymore.